Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunrise Yoga. Namaste. I'm Rebecca Warrington from rjmindbody.com, and here we are on a Monday again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This week is we're going to be continuing to concentrate on the flexibility, but we'll be incorporating different things into the flexibility concept, so you understand what exactly, a little bit of the science behind it. I'm going to be giving you little bits and pieces throughout the week, so you don't get it's not too much to kind of absorb at one time. So today, what we're going to be concentrating on is how the breath can help us go deeper into our stretches. A very simple concept. But basically, it's when we do, you'll become more you'll understand this as you practice. But when you're in a stretch, especially a passive stretch, when you're sitting and you're holding, your breath, often what happens is we hold our breath. It's just an instinct to do that because we're resting, or we don't consciously we're not aware of our breath. So when we're doing any kind of a passive stretch, then that includes child's pose. You're inhaling and you notice that your body kind of lifts and it tenses. Natural response to the inhalation, and then as you exhale, you soften. You can go deeper into the stretches when you exhale. And the reason being is it has a lot to do with, also there's more space because the diaphragm has lifted up, so you have more space around the belly region, so you can actually go deeper into stretches, as opposed to when you're inhaling, the diaphragm pushes down so that there's more space to breathe and take breaths in. So it's gonna be an interesting observation of how just watching the edge of your stretches, watching it, when I say watching it, is actually just feeling into it through the breath. So that's what we're concentrating on today. And we're going to do some core work, which is really important part of flexibility. Core work's very important anyway, but especially flexibility. So we're going to start with just taking a moment here. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So here we go. This is number 1 of the 5 days. We talked about doing getting 5 days in 6 days. So that's work. This is number 1. Okay, take a moment and let your eyes close for just a moment. And I want you to really pay attention to the breath with curiosity. Like, how does this actually work? And you're just gently breathing in, and you're feeling that sense of lifting and expanding. And as soon as you exhale, there's a softening down. There's this kind of folding into yourself. So just observe that for just a moment. And it's sometimes you might think, well, I don't really care. No, see this? You will eventually. It will all make sense. So let's just gently open the eyes and let's come on to our hands and knees. And once on your hands and knees, we're in our tabletop position. If you're new to the class, that means your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Look back. If you see your toes, just open them up a little bit wider so you don't see your toes. Let's go through a few cats and cows just to warm up the spine. As you inhale into your cow, feel that lengthening and slight tensing of the body. And then as you exhale, draw the belly in, drop your head, peek between those legs, pull the belly in towards the spine. So inhaling and exhaling. If you wish, if it will help you kind of wake up, exhale through the mouth for a few breaths. It actually feels quite nice to be able to do that. And let's come back into our neutral spine. And this time I want you to press into that right hand, inhale your left arm up to the sky. And see how high you can go. And this is an indicator of your shoulder mobility, the thing we talked about last week, continuing with our shoulders. If you can't reach it, if it feels like it's still on an angle, the wrist is not directly over your shoulder, that is an indicator of, I'm a little tight here. And then take your left arm, thread it under your right arm, and come onto that left shoulder. So come all the way down to the ground. Let your left cheek soften into the ground. And take your right arm and slide it forward towards the front of the mat. Now from here, there's an option. You could walk your fingertips of that right hand all the way over towards your head, towards the left side of the mat. It's not going to go, maybe you can stack it over your right ear. And as you do this, move your knees slightly back so they're underneath your hips. And you should feel a stretch in your middle back, your arm, and just let yourself breathe here, in and out. So the breath, inhaling, you're going to follow my pattern, inhale. And then exhale. Then you go just twist a little bit more. And then inhaling, just kind of letting things happen. No twisting here or just a slight twist. And then exhale, go slightly deeper. So you're meeting your edge as you inhale, then you go beyond the edge, possibly, as you exhale. Pay attention. This is how we go deeper into our stretches. Now slide that right hand back towards you and help yourself back up. And take your left arm, lift it up to the sky. See if, maybe it's a little bit easier. And then take your left hand back down. Let's take an exhale into your cat stretch. Just kiss in your cat stretch. Drop your head. Feel that stretch in that back. Breathing in and breathing out. Then inhaling into your neutral spine. Let's take your left arm forward and your right leg back behind you. Let's exhale that left elbow and right knee in towards each other. And let's inhale, reach that left arm forward, right foot back. Let's bring back core work here and balance and straighten. And think about stretching through the length of the body. One more time, elbow to knee. And then reach away and just hold for just a moment. Just a moment. And this is where breath is essential. Inhaling and exhaling. Hard to do. Inhaling, and as you exhale, lower that left hand down, lower that right knee down, and sit back into your extended child's pose with your arms reaching forward, stretching out those shoulders. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's inhale back into our tabletop, back to the wrists and shoulders underneath one another. And now you're going to reach your right arm up to the sky. So here you're going to compare the sides. And then exhale, take your right arm, thread it onto your left arm, place that right shoulder on the ground, right side of your head, resting. Maybe wiggle your knees a little further back and then slide your left hand forward. And then play here. Use your breath here to decide how far that left hand can go towards the right side of the mat. And you're going to breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you'll twist a little bit more, using the softening and the relaxing of the muscles when you exhale to move. Inhaling's like a pause and just an observation. And then as you exhale, you might go a touch deeper or not. And then take an inhale, and as you exhale, walk those hands back that left hand forward again and slide it back towards you. Take a breath in and sweep your right arm up to the sky. Maybe you'll notice, oh, it's a little bit easier. And then place that right hand down. Exhale into your cat stretch, round through the spine. Stretch. And then inhaling back to your neutral spine, let's take your left leg back and your right arm forward. So it's looking towards the front of the mat, stretching through that right arm and left arm, and exhale, bring that knee and elbow towards each other. And then inhale, stretch. So take a deep inhale. And then exhale. Create space so that you can bring that elbow and knee in. And then inhale, stretch. Soften the belly. And then exhale, the belly draws in and up. One more time, inhaling, stretching. Exhaling, elbow to knee. And this time as you stretch the arms, inhaling and the leg, hold for a moment. And just, this is where you breathe in and you breathe out. Trust your breath. And then place your right hand down, left knee down, and press back into your child's pose. And just take a few little, let the elbows soften. And just little wiggles from side to side, loosening up those hips. And then let's inhale back into your tabletop and slide your hands forward towards the front of the mat. Take your knees slightly behind your hips, just a touch. And I want you to melt your heart towards the ground. Let your forehead rest on the ground, or chin for those who have very flexible spines. And take a breath here. Follow the breath. Inhaling. There's a slight lifting and tensing. And as you exhale, you go a little bit deeper into the stretch. You'll feel this especially in your middle back. Inhaling and exhaling. And then that's inhaling, lifting back up slightly and coming onto your forearms and extending your legs back. So now we're in our plank, forearm plank. You can always lower the knees down, which I'm going to actually do this time in the morning. And just lower the knees down and take a few breaths here. Even though you feel like you're not doing much, I want you to inhale and exhale. Wake up that core. Strengthen the core. If you're if the knees are up, press the heels slightly back. Create that lengthening in your body. And looking towards your thumbs. And notice how all of a sudden you're breathing really fast. And then lower your hips down and keep the elbows exactly where they are. Just flatten out the tops of the feet and lift your heart forward. As you press your pubic bone into the ground, soften the shoulders down. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Nice relief, huh? Now from here, take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower down. And reach the arms back behind you, next to your legs, with the palms facing up. We're going to come into locust, where you lift your chin and chest and your legs off the ground. Squeeze your bottom cheeks and take your hands off the ground and try and reach them as close to your feet as you can. As if you're trying to grab them, but of course you're not going to because they're not bent. And breathe in and look, follow the gaze down the bridge of your nose and breathe in. Breathe in, utilize the back of your body here, where the majority of our lungs are. And breathe in. So good, this is important to be able to access, especially at this point with all that's going on. Lower the arms down, slide the hands next to your chest, lift back up into your tabletop, and let's exhale into your downward dog.
So take a few breaths here, inhaling and exhaling, maybe forcefully through the mouth, releasing tension, clearing out the lungs, inhaling, and and an inhale. You can pedal the feet if you like, which is bending one knee and straightening the other, maybe moving your body from side to side. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, walk your feet to the front of the mat. We're going to do 2 sets of a sun salutation. Drop your head. Take a moment here and stretch out the backs of those legs. Opposite hand to opposite elbow if you'd like, or hands to the ground. Knees bent, soft or straight. Breathing in. And breathing out. So as you exhale, you go a little bit deeper into that stretch. You breathe in, there's a slight lifting up. And once the next exhalation, let yourself go a little bit deeper, then take a breath in and reach all the way up to the sky. Stretch through those fingers, interlace the hands, and spin the palms up towards the ceiling and stretch over to the right. And inhaling back up and then to the left. And then inhale back up and release the hands and float down, forward bend. Inhale halfway, pressing the hands into the shins. Exhaling, stepping back, downward dog. Inhaling the knees down. We're going to do knees, chin, chest down, chin down. Hold, and then slither forward into your cobra. So your hands can come a little further forward if you like. Squeeze the elbows in towards your sides. And exhale, lower down. Slide the hands next to your chest, downward dog. Exhale completely. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you can either float to the front of the mat or walk to the front of the mat, forward bend. Exhale completely. Inhale, hands on the shins, lift up halfway. Exhale completely as you forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Use your full inhalation. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, halfway. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, step back into your downward dogs. This time take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, step the right foot between your hands, assisted if you need to, and flatten out that back foot. Going into our warrior one. Back foot, the toes are pointing towards the left corner of the mat. There's a slight angle, and let's lift all the way up. Reach the arms up. Right knee bent. All over the ankle, not beyond the ankle. Feel the stretch in the back of that left ankle. So take a few breaths here, breathing in, reaching through those fingers. Inhaling, and as you exhale, you go deeper into the stretch simply by pressing the back heel down. And then inhale, there's a slight tensing. You'll notice in your body a slight lifting and then and softening down. Let's take one more inhale, reach, and then exhale, place the hands down. Step back into your downward dog. Let's inhale your left leg up to the sky. Let's step your left foot between your hands. Flatten out that back foot, so you might have to scoot it in a touch and lift up. Take a peek at your back foot. It needs to be on a slight angle so your hips can point forward. Feet are hip distance apart. Lift the arms up. Feeling that stretch in that back of that calf, that right leg. And you breathe in. And every time you breathe out, there's a slight softening down. Press into that heel of that back foot. On the outer edge of that back foot, the left knee stays bent over the ankle or slightly behind the ankle. Inhaling. And let's exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back into your downward dog. Take an inhale into your plank. Keep your plank for just a moment. Take an exhale. Then inhale. You can lower the knees down here. And then exhale, lower down onto your belly this time. And then hands slightly forward or into your upward dog or whatever version of this stretch you like. Inhaling and exhaling, softening the shoulders. So waking up for your day. Lower your chest down. Let's slide the hands next to your sides, back into that locust. Palms facing up, squeezing the legs together. Take a breath in. And use your exhalation to lift the legs, lift your chest and forehead off the ground, and your arms reach back. So then we take another breath in, and we take a breath out. So holding the posture, but breathing. And paying attention to how the body reacts to the breath. Inhaling. Lifting up naturally and exhaling, you're going to naturally soften down a little bit. One more time, inhale and then exhale, the hands next to the chest. Let's press back into our child's pose. Take a moment here, take a rest here, but let yourself breathe in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's walk our hands towards our knees and let's come onto our right hip and then spin ourselves forward and scoot our bottom to our heels. Let's sit up nice and tall. Let's take right hand underneath your right knee going into our boat, left hand underneath your left knee and lift your legs off the ground. Some of us, you might find this not doable. So the feet just stay on the ground. The key here, and you can release your hands if you'd like, from underneath the knees. So what the key here is that you maintain this nice long spine, and you breathe. You can straighten the legs if you'd like, if that's something. But as long as you don't sacrifice the quality of that upper body, a shape. If you start to collapse, it's not worth it because it's all about core work right now. And it's hard, but then you breathe through it. It's like, and then let's place the feet down and let's lower ourselves onto our backs. Reach the arms back. That should felt really, really good. Well, at least after the fact. Stretch the arms away from the feet. Never, never easy, that one. I have to say, hug your knees into your chest. Place the feet on the ground and open the feet just slightly wider than your hip bones. And place your arms next to your sides and walk the heels and tap your middle fingers just to make sure that your feet are in the right position for your bridge. Arms come out a little bit to the sides. And they're flat, the palms are facing down. Take a breath in, arch your lower back, and as you exhale, press the lower back into the ground and peel yourself off the ground. Lifting up, one vertebra at a time. Just lifting. And once you reach whatever top that is for you, exhale, let's just lower down, one vertebra at a time, until the tailbone touches the ground. Then take an inhale to prepare, arch your lower back, and then exhale, press your lower back into the ground and peel yourself back up off the ground. starting with the lower back, the middle, and maybe possibly peel the upper back up. Let's hold this. Now, some of us are able to roll our shoulders underneath and interlace the hands underneath our bottom and press the hands into the ground. I'm going to keep my hands out to the sides because not everyone has that shoulder mobility yet. We will be working on that this week, continuing with the shoulders as well. But if you want to try it, what you simply do is take your shoulders, roll them in towards each other, and then interlace the hands. And then you can lift your hips a little bit higher. Now, if you want to go a step further, this might be just enough for you. Bring your left foot in a tiny bit towards your right foot and take your right ankle on your left thigh. So a little bit more of a challenge here. Moving on a little bit into a challenge this week, a few challenging postures, and maybe reach your right leg up to the sky. Some of us will not be able to do that. It's enough just to be in a bridge. I'm having it this morning. It's like, place your right ankle back on your left thigh, take that right foot down. That's if your hands are underneath your back, let's just release the hands on lower down just for a moment. Few little sways of the legs from side to side, windshield wiper legs. And then let's come back to our bridge, our position of the bridge to measure out. Let's take a breath in and arch that lower back. And as you exhale, that lower back presses into the ground because your belly pulls in. And then peel yourself off the mat. So start to lift up one vertebra at a time. As you get to the top, take a breath in and let's hold and exhale. You might want to roll the shoulders under again if you would like or not. And breathe. So this is a wonderful way to open up the front of the body. Bring your right foot in a little bit closer to the left and place your left ankle on your right thigh, maybe. Now you're going to notice your bottom starts to drop down towards the ground, sink down, just lift it up. And then if you want to go a step further, you could lift your left leg up. Whew. And then place your left ankle back on your right thigh. And then place it back on the ground. Take an inhale and exhale, lower all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Little sways from side to side. Sometimes it's hard on Mondays and you notice, oh, what a difference you feel on it by Friday, or at least by Wednesday. Let's find our way up and back into our easy seat. Take a moment here. Revisit the breath for just a moment. Where is your breathing? Is it a little bit faster than it was when you first sat down? Are you a little bit warmer? Just take a moment here just to explore the changes that just occurred just not too long ago, just 30 minutes ago. And from this observation, there's no judgment. It's just merely just watching and observing, noticing how your body reacts to certain postures and certain things that we do in yoga. You'll begin to feel your heart rate beating a little faster, or it might slow down. And this is where you begin to make that body connection. Let's reach the arms up to the sky, and let's bring the hands together above the head, and let's let the hands float to your heart. Bowing your head to your hands in this gesture of gratitude, compassion, and love. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.